Come on. Welcome. We're back. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians. I almost messed it up.
You
Where
got it.
the where, where the history meets the paranormal, and we have a great guest tonight. We're gonna have a great show tonight. He's a very dear friend of mine, and we hope we enjoy it. Well, Jenny,
Yes.
what did you do this week?
Anthony. Hello.
Hello.
I
So,
was with some dude.
I have no idea who.
He looked like you.
Who like who?
I gotta tell you, we had a really nice time this weekend, Anthony and me. We investigated in New Jersey in Morris County at the Cooper Grist Mill, a historical mill in Chester, New Jersey. We had a public event, and we just have the best people who come to these events and really want to be there and really want to learn about investigating in the paranormal and about history mostly. And I was outside. I always do the outdoor one if I can, the outdoor station, if you will. And Richard, Michelle, and I were outside, and it was spooky out there in the woods. And what about you, Anthony? Where were you?
I was.
What'd you do?
Well, what had happened? What happened? You just
Yeah, go tell us what happened in the woods.
Spooky in the woods. What happened?
It was so spooky. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, it's like a long trail that we lined with like candles, and then we made a circle of rocks. It was so druid. Oh my goodness. And we put like motion sensors inside of it on the leaves, and everybody backed up, and we put like tripwires behind us that would go off all at once when we would call spirit close. It was really neat. And then we had a really good EVP. We asked how many tribes are out here, and so loudly it said, "We are 3." So
yeah,
it was
that area is very a lot of Native American energy in that area.
Yeah, it was Lenni Lenape, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And Richard seems to feel like there's the mill and then there's the land, right? So like you have the mill and then there's the forest and the river. And he feels like there's like a cutoff almost in time, like a time difference there. So spooky, lots of stuff going on out there, noises, fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, because when I read that place before I even met Richard, this was probably 2019. I read that place.
Wow.
And it's, it's all recorded, whatever. And looking out into the woods there, it was a line of Native Americans, but they didn't like come onto the property of the mill. They were just like lined in the forest out there. And it was really interesting. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it was cool looking. And we did have the motion sensors going off inside the circle. And for the life of me, like I couldn't set them off, kind of thing. I was very frustrated with that, trying to set them off, thinking no way. But they did, So
these are the rope lights or like motion sensors from like Walmart?
We had the rope lights and motion sensors, both.
Yeah.
But the rope lights all around us and the trees far away from us were going off. Like, yeah. And at certain times too, like a woman was talking about her mother who had passed and the lights lit up right around her. It was really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, really cool. Anyway, too much about me. Anthony, how was your station?
My station was good. I was in the what's that? Where they check everybody in? What's that house?
The house. It's like a house.
Yeah, it's
the Miller house, they call it. Yeah.
What? The Miller?
The Miller house. Yeah. Because,
house.
Yeah.
I was in there, and I guess what I was doing. I was teaching, and I was showing people how to spirit sketching, and the spiritual sketch art. So I had pads out with the pencils, and I had people. Actually, when they came in, I had them meditate for a couple minutes before I start showing them, and had them draw. And a lot of people thought it was. They thought it was interesting. I had one woman that was. She was a sensitive, and she started drawing, and she said she seen somebody staying in the corner by the desk, and she drew what she had. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I said, "Oh, that's wild," and everybody actually drew. Everybody drew something. I just said, "Just draw what's in your head. Maybe it's something you don't know. Somebody might be coming to you, or it might just be a memory of something." So, or if you had experience, I tell them to draw whatever the experience was. And so I had a lot of people doing that. And at the end of the night, well, with a woman seed, that was my first group. Where she seen somebody, I actually took. Oh, I actually took my my millimeter, my K2s, all the things with the bells and whistles, and I put it in the corner there. And after time we're talking about certain things, we're talking about something about spirits. Guess what? That little meter that you made me, the little round one with all the stones. It was every time I start talking about spirits and stuff, it would ring.
I see that.
And that same corner where that girl was.
That's what homemade equipment does.
And everybody was drawing pictures, and they were drawing pictures similar to the woman. I didn't say nothing, but they drew. Everybody drew pictures to the similar to the woman that was there. That actually was a psychic. That was my first group, and I'm talking about the second and third group, and they all had similar drawings. I told them
what did they draw?
It was like a young woman.
They drew a young woman. Gotcha.
Yeah, a young woman, and look around his face and the hair. That's what all was similar. Was the hairstyle, like it was like not like a little messy type of hairstyle, and she was standing in that corner, and
cool.
the woman, the psychic, the sensitive there, she said that she felt that it was a woman that was there, and she actually drowned in a lake nearby. And but she came. There's a lake or so. There's something there with water, I guess because of milk. She drowned there, and she was inside the house. And she did come up with the game, which I don't remember exactly, but it was interesting. And then at the end of the night, guess what? I was in that building. There's a bathroom, so people trying to get in, and the door was locked. So I get up and I go and take the door. How to open the door and let people in. As I'm coming back, I seen a girl on the top of the stairs looking down at me with brown hair, all messed up. I'm like, holy shit. I don't know if she came to me because they pointed it out, but the crazy part about it was like at the top of the stairs as you're walking, and there's a banister. But there's a wall there behind the banister, the banister attached to the wall. And I seen the person looking out like this from there. Just absolutely nobody could do that. Unless that wall wasn't always there. And that was a banister at the time.
Probably wasn't. Yeah.
And so it was an interesting night. We had a very interesting
night. Was.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We love our I haven't heard that story about somebody drowning, and because that dam, it's a new dam. It was different before because the road is new. The road used to actually be at the same level of the mill. So they actually had to elevate the road up there and stuff like that. So that dam is new. I don't know how large that was before, but I can look into seeing if somebody did drown in that area. I'm not familiar with it, but doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah. But that's interesting, So that was our weekend. And like I said, I had a good time there, Good.
You were warm in the house. We were freezing out there.
Yeah, that was great. I was warm. The house was so. I had my jacket off, and I go outside.
Yeah, April's a little early to be outside.
It was cold.
Yeah.
So it was.
How about you, Kim? How are the horses?
Nope, all good.
Sorry about the trains.
Yeah, all good. Didn't really do much this weekend.
Okay.
Cool.
But anything the moon in the second power? Did you
anything to share?
Oh, well, Nevada just had a pretty big earthquake today. There is they had a 5.7. It was felt in California as well, all the way down to Sacramento. What else we got going on? There's a typhoon hitting Guam right now. There is coronal mass ejection, but not towards us, so that's pretty good. And there's some planetary alignments that are going to be starting this week. That will be kind of interesting. But other than that, we had a comet. Not a comet. I'm sorry. Well, we do have a lot of comets going on right now. That's a whole other story.
Okay.
We had a meteor in New Jersey. You didn't hear about this?
Whoa. Go ahead. When?
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. And it was supposed to also have had a sonic boom associated with it. And I saw some of the video of this meteor coming in, this fireball. And it's not a fireball that I've ever seen before. It was bizarre. Did you see video of it, Jenny?
I did.
It was weird.
Oh, I didn't see anything on it.
Like really weird. It was.
It didn't look like a comet.
It would have been a fireball. No, I said the wrong word there. But it was small and it was like going up and down. It was weird. I don't know. So yes, and then there's also a severe weather outbreak right now going on in the middle of the U.S. as well too. Yep.
Yeah.
So the reason I was going to call you on Saturday when I was driving out there.
Oh, you were going to call me on Saturday?
But
why didn't you call me on Saturday?
Because I figured you were with Mr. Ed over there. You know?
Well, I was, yes.
Yeah, so I figured I didn't want to disturb you, Mr. Ed. And
I'm going to have to ask about that later.
I was driving, and
the horse.
I seen a light stream going down with something, and it was like going, and it was like a tail on it. It wasn't a plane.
You could have seen another fireball, or the comets you can't really see right now. They're not that bright, so you wouldn't be able to, and they don't move.
It was really high up in the distance. It was really high up in the distance. That's another reason I seen it coming down, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
That's
and I was like amazed.
Bigger than a shooting star?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been another meteor, or a fireball is what they call it. If it's brighter than Venus in the night sky.
There was no flames or nothing. I seen a white thing. And it was weird coming down. And it was like I was on Route 80, and I was I think I wasn't that far out. I'm not sure how far. I think it was like going towards Pennsylvania when you go to that last.
Yeah.
And I got
I'll look it up.
And I'm just looking. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And nobody else. I'm in a car, so I don't know what anybody. I'm doing 70 miles per hour. I'm not gonna, but that was crazy.
Yeah, I'll look it up and see if there were any more fireball sightings for. You said Saturday night. There probably are a bunch of other
Saturday night. It was
Saturday
sightings. Day.
Oh, even better. Yeah,
Saturday day.
I look. There's a whole list.
And I see this white streak.
Yeah. I gotcha.
All right. Well, before the world ends, we should introduce our guest.
Well, we are right now like in an unknown debris stream. They don't know where a lot of these meteors are coming from. They actually don't know. There's articles on it. It's interesting. So I'll look that up for you, Anthony. I'll get back to you. I can do it right now, actually. But yes, Jenny, let's introduce our guest.
I just want to tell you one more thing. I know Chris.
I know, poor Chris.
Yeah, I'm giving away our guests already. But I just want to say, on the way home on Saturday night, okay, I'm driving on 80 again, and I'm driving, and there was no cars around me. It was like all black, and I seen a shadow of a man walking in front of my car.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Right. So I didn't hit the brakes. I just started to slow down. And I slowing down, and this thing just went, and I went, and it just like was gone. It was like went right through me, right through the car. I'm like,
where was this? Do you know what exit?
I know that's what I asked.
I'm not sure. I really.
God, Anthony, this happens again. You mark the place.
The same spot.
You mark the town. You get the number on the side.
Exit number.
Okay.
And then
mile marker.
What happened there?
Oh, it's up for 23 hours.
Anthony.
I'm not looking
at Anthony.
Stuff like that. I'm looking to get my pad and start drawing the damn thing. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah,
Don't
that
do
was
that while
crazy.
you're driving. All right.
I could see the head, a little hat. It was like a fedora type of hat. It was
Why
like
did
a
you see
shadow.
it so clearly at 80 miles an hour?
Because it was in front of my car.
It was a deer. No, I'm kidding.
It was a very fancy deer. It was so sophisticated.
Aw, Anthony.
So yeah, it was interesting. So okay, now we're gonna introduce our guest.
I know.
You had an exciting
I
week.
have all my windows open. If it gets loud, just tell me because there's like trains down there. Oh my God. I'll close that. Sorry. It's when, it's like that time of year where you're like, do you leave the window open? Do you shut the window? It gets cold at night. It's hot in the day.
Sounds like it's in your house, that train.
I know. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to shut it. I know. And it's not. It's so far. It's really far. It's like a mile away, but it's just
that's impressive.
Reroute it.
What train? I don't hear any train. No, I'm kidding.
No train.
Guys, we have a guest. Oh my God, this is like
we're losing the audience. Let's go.
We're having the best guest ever, and it's taken us the longest to bring him on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful guest tonight. He's a friend and an amazing investigator from Supernatural Untold Stories and the newest featured investigator on the Signal Network. If you don't know the Signal Network, you don't know anything. You need to check it out on YouTube. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Please welcome Chris Mendes.
There he is.
I feel like I feel like a round of applause on that entry, Jenny.
Chaos tonight.
I like it.
The weather gets warm, Chris, and we go crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris. Welcome.
Hey, how are you? Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's pretty exciting. I almost forgot I was going to be on the show. I'm sitting here watching you guys, listening to your stories. And
I know. I'm sorry. We don't usually talk that long, but
Anthony's got one more.
I was definitely.
But Anthony saw a dead guy on Route 80, so he had to get to it.
Yeah, how to get to that dead guy? I'm telling you.
We're gonna have to recount your steps and traces and see exactly where it was that you seen that shadow figure. We'll have to figure that out for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was so freaking tired. I'm driving. Everything's dark. I'm driving, and I'm like so tired. And then this idiot comes in front of my car. Yeah. I'm telling you, if it was a real person, he's still on Route 80. He's road pizza right now.
Oh my God!
You have to buy a Tesla next. Use their little.
That's what I was going to say, Chris. I was going to say that exact same thing.
I'll get it done.
This is so dark.
Yeah,
it's got dark fast.
No, it didn't get dark. The Tesla actually sees the shadows. It sees
It picks up like thermal heats, like body figures, and a lot of people have been experimenting with them in cemeteries and driving around cemeteries and picking up figures that aren't there. They're walking by the cars.
Oh.
It's almost like a SLS camera in a car. It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, we just talked about this in our last show. Yeah.
Yeah, those are wild.
Yeah. They're pretty interesting. Yeah, a lot of people use for that. But it would have helped if you had it. It would have helped if you had in that scenario. I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, if I had a Tesla, I mean, yeah, it'd be a different story. But then I won't just see them. I would have them on the screen. I would have them everywhere. I mean, they don't always come to me. Well, I'm so happy.
It would have.
They all
recorded
follow
everything.
you. This is a great theory that Melissa has. He appeared to you to wake you up so you didn't have an accident at the wheel. I like that.
That's possible.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too.
It didn't really wake
I love that theory.
Yeah.
Because I went right through it. Didn't wake me up. I just went, if it's real or if it's not, it's going to get run over.
We've all been there, right, Chris? They at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're just like, just get home.
There's times where I make it home and I don't even realize or remember half the trip. I'm like, how did I get here?
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm pulling up, the sun coming up. I'm like, I'm home.
Oh my God. Windows open, like pounding like Red Bulls. Yeah.
So I know
definitely brings back memories.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
I go back a long time. I mean, we did the Shanley together. We did White Hill together. We did the White Hill. Write it up. We did the Shanley and White Hill together. We did a couple of things together.
Bingo.
And but yeah, Yeah, we go back. And I actually, when you had your podcast back in 100 years ago, I actually drove down to where in Jersey, South Jersey, somewhere or whatever.
Yeah, the most further south you can get to South Jersey.
Yeah, and I drove down there.
Yeah, we were. Was that Paulsboro or my old house in the woods?
I think it was in the woods. No, wasn't it? What's his name's house?
Gary's house. Yeah, it might have
Yeah,
been Paulsboro. Yeah,
it was Gary's house.
Yep. That was still about an hour from my house, further south.
Yeah, because it was Gary's house because he had some kind of camper in the backyard that he was going to convert into some kind of
yes
paranormal transportation thing. And
yeah, we were gonna have a move-in podcast. We're gonna be able to drive the bus different places and just have podcasts all over the place.
That would have been good. You come up to Queens here. Hey, I wouldn't have to drive all the way down there.
Yeah, exactly. Would have been fun.
It was a good podcast.
And get it stolen.
Yeah, well, what do you think?
Where
do you think I live?
Won't leave.
Where do you think I live?
Well, anyway, Chris, why don't you tell us? I would love to hear your background in the paranormal, how you got into it, what you're doing now, anything like that.
Yeah, of course. So, honestly, I started back in 2017. Before that, I used to live in Puerto Rico, so I was kind of like experienced with a lot of different paranormal activity that you would see. However, during that time frame, your parents would tell you, "Hey, don't believe that. It's not true. That's it was kind of taboo at the time. Like nobody really wanted you to talk about it. So I kind of like outgrew it, and I've always tried to find a logical explanation for everything that I come across before thinking is automatically paranormal. And everything kind of changed, and that's kind of where I started getting real into the paranormal back in 2017. I started going through some personal problems, personal issues. I was out of work for a year. I didn't have my kids at the house at the time, and I was kind of going through a tough time. And I started spending a lot of time at the house that I was in by myself. So like we were talking about, most furthest point you can get in New Jersey, Quinton, you can see Delaware right from your backyard almost.
Oh my God. Exit
so it's actually exit 0.
The exit 0.
Exactly. So long story short, I started experiencing one of the first thing I experienced were like I said, my kids weren't at the house. The very first thing I experienced was watching TV. I lived just for visual representation and purposes. It's almost like it was a double wide at the time. So you would come into one door, it was the kitchen, you had the dining room and then the living room, and then you'd have a hallway that connects all the room together. So I was sitting in the living room watching TV. The TV is facing you, but the back of the TV is right next to the hallway that leads to all the room. So I'm sitting there focused watching TV, and the first thing I hear is footsteps coming down the hallway. Then again, there's nobody at the house. It was just me. So I'm like, maybe the house is, making noises. Just put it off. Next thing I hear is a little kid saying, "Hey, can I have some chips?" But at this time, I'm watching TV. I'm like, "No, you can't have no chips." So I looked over. I'm like, "Man, my kids aren't here. There's nobody here. What the hell did I hear? Like,
oh wow,
what did I hear?" I responded back to it.
Oh my gosh.
So I get up, I walked around, checked. There's nothing there. I looked outside to see if maybe there was some kids outside walking around. Nothing.
Wow.
I had 15 acres in my property, so the fact of trying to hear something from outside would have been almost impossible because I lived in the middle of nowhere. So that leads to, we'll fast forward to going to a yard sale. I ended up buying this Foot Locker. It's a military World War II Foot Locker. I belonged to a guy named Edward, still had his name, last name, and his military number still in the Foot Locker. So I bought that, brought it back to the house. At the time, I was going back and forth through work. I'm in law enforcement, so when I would get home from work, I would take my vest, take all my stuff off, put it in that Foot Locker, close it, lock it, and put a lock on it. I would go to bed at nighttime. I had a German Shepherd at the time. And I would go to bed at nighttime. The dog would come right into the room, sleep on the floor right next to my bed. And you would hear the lock moving around. Sound like somebody was hitting it or moving it or trying to open it. And I would look down, the dog's laying right next to the bed, so it wasn't the dog. There's nobody else in the house. I would get up, go into the room, check, nothing's there, nothing's going on. So I'd go back. So long story short, I got to the point where I was like, man, am I losing my mind? Like, am I going crazy? Like, is this like something that's really happening? Because I had no explanation for it. So I reached out to a buddy of mine who was into the paranormal, and he was doing his investigations. And he comes over to the house, brings his team together. I had an outside shed to the house. So at the time, we had DVR cameras. So we ran DVR cameras all throughout the house, set up 5 Zoom recorders through the entire house. It was an overkill for that little tiny house, but we just wanted to have everything covered. So we kind of secured the area per se. Like there's no inside noise. Everybody was outside in the shed. 2 investigators in at the time. 2 investigators would stay outside inside the shed, just kind of like controlling the environment per se. So within the first 20 minutes of me and my buddy, whose name was Mike, within the first 20 minutes of walking into the house and starting our investigation, all 5 Zoom recorders completely die. We start changing the batteries. We start in the living room, work our way out all the way to each individual room and change the batteries. As soon as we get to my room at the end of the hallway, I could have swore I heard a woman clear as day saying hello. Now, this sounded very robotic, almost like if it was, the best way to explain it is the old school microphones with the little springs inside the microphone. Hey, Michelle, welcome. So it sounded like I was like a female was talking through. No. It sounded like she was talking through a microphone. So long story short, I tell Mike, I'm like, listen, this is what I heard. He's staring at me. He's like, dude, I didn't hear anything. So at this point, I'm like, there's no way in, forgive my language, but there's no way in hell I'm going crazy. Like, I'm definitely not going crazy. So I ended up going back. Luckily, we had just changed the batteries to that camera, or to that recorder per se, and we had a camera that was plugged in the hallway. We replay that video back, and clear as day, you hear this woman saying hello the same exact way I explained it. So it was one of those like moments where it's like you finally capture something that you've been hearing, but you have no explanation for it. That makes any sense.
That's the best, though. You back it up.
It is. So from there on, I started doing investigations, and I kind of got hooked to it. Welcome back.
I was like, no, this story. I was like, I must come back. Continue.
Well, you got to watch reruns.
Sorry.
Back to hear the story.
So here, I'll just fill you in real quick. So long story short, I ended up hearing a woman saying hello, clear as day. Sounded like it was talking through an old school microphone with the spring on the bottom of it, like those little toy microphones. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like it was echoey, like just almost through a tunnel. The best way to explain it. We ended up playing. My friend who was in there with me, Mike at the time, did not hear it. So at this point, I'm like, I'm definitely going nuts. Like I'm hearing things, he's not hearing it. Like, so we ended up replaying back the recorder and the video camera that had just the recorder had the battery changed, the camera was plugged in. We replayed both of them back on the spot, and we hear the same exact woman saying hello right from the living room area. So it was captured. So at least it was some,
right.
Some credits.
See, I'm not crazy.
To me not being nuts and not hearing things. So that's kind of what sparked everything, and that, from there on, I got hooked. And I've been doing investigations ever since. I ended up joining his group, and then from there, I started building into the different investigations and investigating different locations, and kind of like spreading out and going further. You know what I mean? Like, and that brings me till now. Like, I visited well over 100 locations from 2017 till now. I traveled all over, and it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Those stories are incredible. So a few questions. Did you guys ever kind of figure out where the activity was coming from, or who or what? Was it the land?
So that leads to another story I haven't really told many people. You guys are probably like the 6th podcast I've ever mentioned this story on. Leads back, you guys were talking about Native Americans. Turns out that my land was a Native American land. The back of my property had a really big ditch. Come to find out, that ditch was actually a waterway for the Native Americans back in the day. So they used to use that for their water, like the water source. And it actually led to a kind of like a lake deep in the woods. So I ended up tracking it down with a drone. I started doing research in that area. They had a lot of underground railroad activity. There was a church within 3 to 4 miles that was burnt down. And it was said that the preacher at the time was holding refugees from like the Underground Railroad eras, and the locals found out and burnt the church down with the people in it.
Yeah.
So that's one of like the biggest markings in that area. But come to find out, the activity in my house, the main activity, actually was lurking between all the properties in the area. So talking to my other neighbors, they were experiencing the same exact activity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Come to find out, that was portion of the activity where the women and the kids come from. Now the Foot Locker, come to find out, the guy who was the owner of the Foot Locker, whose name was there, while doing investigations, we learned that he was still there with that Foot Locker and basically didn't want to see it get ruined. He just wanted us to take care of it. And I still have it till this day. Now, with that being said, it leads me back to the Native American side of things. I'll give you another story. This is a story before we investigated. This was the main turning point where I had Mike come to the house and check the area out. At the time, I had a German Shepherd. It was they call it a red German Shepherd. It's like a darkish, like brown and red color with black. His name was Trigger.
Kim's a veterinarian, so she knows exactly what you're talking
cool.
about, but I don't.
Yeah.
I love German Shepherds. They're beautiful dogs.
They're
I
like
have
soul dogs. Yeah.
Here, this is my all black one right now. He's laying right next to me. I don't know if you can see him. Teddy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's a
there
big
he is.
boy.
He's all black. It's 125 pounds.
Yeah, he's
We're
a big
super
boy.
pet friendly. I love
Yeah,
that's
so-
like how much? 100 and what?
125.
Yeah, you said 120.
125, yeah.
That's like my weight. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And I'm glad you're bringing the dog
More than you,
into it
Jenny.
because typically German
Look at
Shepherds are
Jenny.
very sensitive to spirit. So I'm excited to hear where this story
So-
goes.
Yeah, so Teddy, I've always, ever since he was a puppy, I have been bringing him with me to investigations. But
Oh, cool.
leading back to the German Shepherd. So I've always had the German Shepherd. If I was at the house, he would be outside running in the woods, and he would come back when he was done. So I got back from fishing. I backed the boat back up. I was cleaning the boat, and I see this what looked like my German Shepherd coming from the woods. And I'm like, there's no way in hell Trigger was out. So I'm yelling at the dog saying, Trigger, get your ass in the house. Like, get in the house. So I go back to cleaning the boat. So at this point, I'm like leaning like under the boat, cleaning the bottom of the boat. And I see the German Shepherd walking towards me. So I'm like, all right, well, he's coming back. I go back to cleaning the boat. And several seconds later, I look up. And what I see is this Native American guy. Looks like that has the chief. It was a very specific hat. Like a very specific like chief's top attire or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Right.
Very specific markings and different jewels, and then he had a like a leather like skirt, almost like you would see in the movies. To be honest with you, but he was very leathery, like it was very realistic. So I'm staring at this thing. He's staring at me. At this point, I'm like kind of leaned over under the boat, looking up. He's looking down. I'm looking up at him, and I don't know what to do at this point. I'm frozen. I'm like, what do you do? Like, where the hell did this thing come from? Like, how do you explain this? And as I'm staring at it, he does an about face, walks back towards the wood. As he's walking back towards the woods, he becomes this German Shepherd and disappears in the woods.
Cool.
I was like, oh, this thing. There we go. I think I messed my camera up. Let's see.
It's okay. Anthony does it all the time.
So
We
long
call it
story
a-
short,
I only have good
Yeah, let
looking
me see.
people, you know what I'm saying?
I can't get it. I can't get it to
It's
focus,
okay.
but let's see.
It happens to him
So
all the time.
long story short, a buddy of mine who has since passed away, his parents were like the chiefs of the Native American tribe in that area, Lenape, as you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And his mom was also what they call the princess of the Native American tribe. So I explained to him the story, and he brought me into their beliefs and how they believe that that's, a spiritual guide coming and showing up to you. He was telling me that that's very rare. Not many people get to see it. It's almost like a gift. Like you're if you see it, you're like choosing to see it.
I would
And
think.
he explained to me that I needed to make an offering to the ground, and that I needed to plant some sort of fruit tree as a thank you for it showing itself to me. So I listened to what he said. At this point, I had nothing to lose. I've seen this stuff. I can't explain it. Nobody else knows what it is. So I ended up planting the tree, and ever since then, anytime I go to any investigation, I have stuff happen prior to the investigation at my house. Doesn't matter where I live. In addition to that, I have a red-tailed hawk or a bald eagle appear on the ride to the location.
Mm.
And according to him, every single time, I'm telling you, it's so documented. Like this one, I can just take a phone out when I'm going to a location and video of red-tailed hawk or a bald eagle on my way there.
Would you think maybe the spirit, maybe it was a shapeshifter?
Right.
First you see the German Shepherd, and then you see him, and now you're seeing hawks, and
they do consider that, but also it's in their Native American tribe, and going back to the hat, the specific hat that I seen that I described to him was the actual Lenni Lenape tribe hat, or chief's hat, or whatever you want to call it. They have a very specific, different type style chief's hat than anybody else has, like the feather hat.
Sure.
So yeah, it was an experience that honestly I've never really told anybody. This is probably six podcasts I've ever told, only because it was that profound. Like I just say more of a unexplainable. Like I couldn't explain it. If I tell anybody, everybody would think you're nuts saying that you saw that. But it was something that happened that I saw, and like it was just interesting.
But also it's very really spiritual. Like it's not just supernatural or paranormal. It's very spiritual.
Yeah. Well, I also think, you ended up living there for a reason. I don't know the circumstances why you ended up living there, but I am suspicious that this may not have been choice A or B, and you ended up there as it was supposed to be to have that experience. That's like a power animal for you, and as the representation of it. It's not surprising that he showed up as a dog. It could have been just a connection for you to feel comfortable with it at first, curious and comfortable, and then present himself as the guide chief figure to you, and then to show up as the power of an eagle and the power of a hawk. I mean, that's super powerful.
Yeah. And from what I was explained is that the eagle and the red-tailed hawk, the eagle is actually the highest level of protection you can have in the Native American tribe, and the red-tailed hawk is the second highest, which is interesting and cool. Ever since then, I got tons of tattoos. One of them is actually a bald eagle right on my chest. So a lot of people don't know, but that's the meaning behind it.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Nice.
That is.
I've seen Lenape Native Americans, and actually the first time I saw it, as a medium and I go to locations, the first time I saw one, it was in a place called Mountainville in New Jersey. And it was so interesting, Chris. They come if they're going to present themselves to you, they come so specific. And the one that I saw was wearing a blue robe, like a blue blanket or blue robe. And I was like, well, this isn't right? Like my logical mind, I'm like, they're supposed to be in red. Like they're supposed to be in this or that. And then actually it turns out that one of the most famous portraits of two Lenape chiefs during the Walking Treaty. I don't know if anybody's heard of the Walking Treaty. That's sham. We won't get into that, but they're shown wearing blue robes. And I didn't know that was the way that the Lenape presented themselves, because they don't really portray it like that in, the movies or whatever. But, and also they'll wear tattoos, though they actually will tattoo themselves, the Lenape. Yeah. So I wonder if that's what you saw. That's super cool.
It was definitely tattooed on the face. And he had, I can tell you clear as day, because I don't forget that image. It had like two black, and I want to say one was red and one was blue stripes. So I think it was red on this side, blue on this side, but the top stripes were black. It was cool. It was very interesting. Like I said, it was a different headgear, different, very specific jewels. It was, the whole thing was neat, but it left me like speechless, because I couldn't explain it. Sure. That's been the second time that's ever happened, where I've been speechless on something where it's taken me maybe 2 to 3 days to try to realize exactly what I seen.
Hey, Chris.
Right.
Do you want to go out and come back in? Maybe it'll fix your camera.
Yeah, let me try to turn the camera off and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still there.
Yeah, it's the same.
Or go out and come back.
Like completely out? Let's see.
Yeah, then you can come right back
in. We'll pull you right back. We'll talk about you while you're gone.
You know that Chris.
and I'll shut the window.
Hey,
How's
he's
that?
protected, so you got to back off, Anthony. He is
Yeah, I know. Be
protected.
nice.
It's a big guy. It really is. Come on back in, Chris.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. Now it's like a cliffhanger. What is the other experience that he had that left him speechless?
Come on back in, Chris. I'm looking for you.
Hi.
But I mean, that's crazy stories. That's a really wild story. You know how he's seen somebody.
He's like,
You know,
forget
he's
you
first
guys.
seen
I'm
the
out.
dog, then he's
Going to
seen
McDonald's.
the Indian, and then you know, and then later on he sees all these eagles. That's really something.
Mhm.
You know, and maybe because he planted a tree, that's why they had a connection with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he agreed to the connection. I'll tell you every time I go out in the woods, you know what animal I see? What bird I always see?
Back a little better there, huh?
That works.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you
I just
are.
got-
I hate
I
to
gotta
see you
stay
go
away
out,
from it.
because Kim feels like you left it with a cliffhanger over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, there's a cliffhanger now. What is the second time you were left
This is like-
speechless?
Yeah.
You don't have to share if it's not something you want to share publicly, but
I'm very good at cliffhangers. Yeah, the second one, actually, Anthony and Jenny, I believe you guys have been to this location. Have you guys going to the tattoo shop yet?
yeah.
I haven't.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we have.
And
They've
Kim,
been both
Kim's
out.
gone as well.
Ooh.
Actually,
okay.
Kim and I have gone, not
Yeah,
Anthony.
I haven't gone
Okay.
there yet.
Kim
Some
and
people
me.
are
So-
saying, "When you coming? When you coming?" I'm like, I gotta get down
And Chris, we actually just went very recently, so I'm really
Right.
excited for this
A
story.
couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sophia and I are really good friends. So anytime I want to go, she tells me, "Hey, like you can stop by whenever."
Mhm.
So the one night I was bored, I'm like, "Hey, like, are you doing anything tonight?" She's like, "No, you can stop over. You can investigate." I said, "All right, sounds good to me." So it was me and my friend Nancy. Ended up going there. We investigated. It was very heavy in there. It was kind of a wild night. So we ended up walking outside. We're like, you know what? We're just going to call it a night. We're going to leave. We get all our equipment together. We go outside. All cameras are off. Everything's off. Okay. We're sitting by the parking lot talking. And
Mhm.
till this day, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what we saw. I know what we saw, but I'm still trying to, like, I guess, push myself to believe that it is what we said it was.
Right.
So we see this thing come up as we're talking, probably like maybe like this big.
Is this the
this
fairy
big.
story?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
there.
it comes over, and it flies, and it's at this point right in between Nancy and I, and it's just flying there. I'm looking at it. She's looking at it, and we're like speechless. We're trying to figure out if we're legitimately looking at what we believe we're looking at.
Right.
Well, it flies from in front of us, goes over to the tree in the back, the real weird looking tree that they have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Literally crawls like humanoid figure, like going up the tree. They're small, obviously. Goes over to the little branches sticking out further. It uses the branch as like a diving board, and it just jumps and flies away. I looked at Nancy. She looks at me. I'm like, did we just see what we thought we saw? So I start looking.
Like,
I'm like, you know what? There's different things that it could have been. So I look at different types of moth that were in the area. The one I think was the lunar moth, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
But
So we looked at that. Yeah, it wasn't anywhere near what we saw, especially the thing being like
Yeah.
humanoid and like.
This is the
Yeah,
part where that gets me.
Well, especially watching it, like just using the branch as a diving board and flying away. I'm like, there's no
Yeah.
way in hell nobody's going to believe this story. I'm like, you know what? There's a camera facing us. Let me call Sophia and see if she caught it. Sure enough, she plays the video back, and you see the thing fly between us, stand there, and then fly away. And
Cool.
it's probably about this big. So it flew away. It was at least caught on video.
Awesome.
Fast forward to like 2 weeks after we saw that. So at the time, I don't know if you know, I don't know if she told you the story or not, but at the time she was planning to make the museum that she has currently in the basement. She was planning to do an addition in the back of the property and actually have like knock that tree down and build an addition for the museum. Needless to say, the lady that came over to look at the property to do the permits for the township, I believe, went to the back, came back to Sophia. This is without even knowing our story, and tell Sophia, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but I think you have fairies in your garden, in your back,
What?
in the back of the property." She says, "There's definitely fairies here." She said, "I could have swore I seen one." And she starts telling her the story. This is about 2 weeks after we saw what we saw.
Wow.
So she didn't know anything. She didn't know our story. We didn't even know. I don't even know who the lady is, to be honest with you. So fast forward to about like 3 to 4 days after that, from my understanding, there's the mail lady comes over. She's dropping the mail off and goes back to telling Sophia, "Hey, I don't know if you know, but you have fairies in your yard. Like in the back of your property, there's fairies back there." She starts telling her his whole story on how there's fairies in her property. I'm like, all right, well, that's 3 things all relatively close to each other. Like it's got to be that. There's that till this day I haven't seen anything else like it. And doing the research, the moth, the lunar moth, aren't even local to that area, or aren't even supposed to be in this area to begin with. Which is the only thing close. They can get to that size, yes.
Yeah. They're pretty big, yeah.
But I still can't explain it.
Still, but
to this day, I can't
Chris, they didn't come to you and say, "There's this big moth thing in the backyard." Everyone said, "There, you have fairies back there." Like that's what interests me, like the language of it. Because the first thing, if I'm a mail carrier, I'm going to walk by there and say, "Oh, that's some kind of big bird bug thing back there." Like my first thought is not going to be fairy, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and that's during the day too. Your mail person's coming during the day, and the fact
that they go right to fairy is like what?
Yeah,
I know. Not many people talk about fairies.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought it was all BS. Like, I mean, even like the paranormal side of it for a while there, I thought it was BS too, because I was trained to think that way. You know what I mean? Like, I was always taught like there's always a logical explanation for everything. Like, just try to figure out what that explanation is and see if it matches to what you're seeing, which is what I always do. But when you can't explain it, you can't explain it. You can't sugarcoat the unexplainable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure, that's right.
But as of recently, she actually captured inside of her, like inside the tattoo shop, a image of a light anomaly that looks like a fairy flying in the hallway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was the most recent one. But that place it's insane. The activity, it's wild. Actually, that's the last time I was there. I had an object move on its own on camera, and I have that video, which is kind of cool.
Oh wow, where is that?
So as soon as you come up to the checkout area, like right where as soon as you walk in the door, you know where the skeletons are at?
Yeah.
Where she has a skeleton walking into the tattoo shop. I had set up a 360 camera in that hallway right there in front of the skeletons. And I have a light. It's called an O-light. It's a little round bulb that you just put. The bottom of it is rubber. So I set it on the railing right in front of the what do you call it? Right in front of the skeletons. At the end of the night, we're obviously cleaning up, turning everything off. I go to reach for the light. As I'm reaching for the light, the entire light just slides across the railing by itself. And thank God I didn't hit the stop button on the camera. The 360 camera caught everything that happened. And so did her security camera that was facing me. So I got 2 different angles of it happening at the same time, which is pretty cool. I could actually probably show it to you guys. I might have a video here. Let me see if I can find it.
I would love that. And just so you know, like she's such a friend of ours and such a friend of the show that she's one of our few repeat guests on this show.
Yeah. She's awesome.
We love Sophia.
Yeah, I did hear about. She did tell. Somebody told us about the fairy story, but not in as much detail, Chris. So that's amazing. And we've actually had a fairy specialist on the show.
Recently.
Who has talked about fairies and little people, and you know, they're interesting. I personally don't know much about them, to be honest. Why they would be there? Why they were?
I read his books. That really helped.
But I still don't know why. I don't know why they would be there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why a fairy comes to a place.
So I was told from what I was explaining, because I started to look. I'm one of those persons where if I have some sort of interaction with something, I have to like research it completely. So one of the yeah, one of the things I learned a lot of times, like fairies aren't that much of a nice creature to have, or
No.
even like a spirit to have around the property.
They're mischievous.
However, but they're very territorial. So they protect their property and they protect their land. Beings that she was thinking about doing some sort of renovation, knocking that tree down that was there. I think they were trying to protect that tree at that time. That's why they were out in full force.
Makes perfect sense.
That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but based
That's
on
a good theory.
Let me see. Can I play? Is there a way that I can play a video in here? It's on my TikTok. I'm going to play it back for you guys.
It's on your TikTok?
I'm going to. Yeah, let me see if I can do share screen. I'll do this. Screen. Easiest to monitor. Sharing's best. Okay, boom. Share screen. I pick window. Boom. All right. You know what? Let me do that again because I gotta share the audio with it. Share screen. Share screen.
Can you show it? I'm not sure.
Yep. Yeah, I can. Also share
right
system audio. All right, share. There we go. You just gotta approve it on your end.
Okay. You may get some feedback, so you might have to mute your mic.
Yep.
Try it.
All right. So we're good on that. Whoa, you see that?
I did.
I went to grab it and it slid across. About 50%. So we're good on that. Whoa, you see that?
I did.
I went to grab it and it's 50%. So we're good on that. Whoa, you see that?
I did.
I went to grab it and it slid across. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
You see, like right as soon as I reach right about here,
it
moves
moves
that way. Now, I want to see. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. I'm gonna find her angle. She did send me her video. If not, I have it on my phone. I'll just send it to my computer real quick. And you can see the actual camera angle, which is very, very cool. Actually, let me look.
It's crazy because like your hand never got there. It's like an illusion almost. It's like
yes,
you just never got there.
It felt like it felt like an illusion, to be honest with you. At the time, we were trying to figure out. I was like, did I do? And you hear me if you watch the whole video. I'm like, did I do that? Like, how can I do that? Like, it was almost like the best way to explain it is two magnets facing the opposite direction. You put them against each other and they push each other out of the way. That's exactly what it felt like.
North Pole, South Pole. Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess it is possible that you did psychokinetically do it.
Sure.
It was cool. If I did do that, I mean,
especially if you felt the connection with it. Interesting. Very interesting.
Let me see if no, I can't airdrop it. Let me see something.
If you want to send it to me, how big is the thing? Maybe you can send it on Facebook. Message.
It's 58 seconds. I don't know. Let me see here. Boom. So let me go back over here. Let me see. Oh, no. All right, here we go. Let me save that. Maybe I can send it to you. Said Facebook.
Facebook message. Yeah, see if we can get it on that. The one that we can communicating on.
All right. Let's see. It says it's sending.
Also has to be an MP4.
Boom. There you go. You probably just do the share screen on the message portion of it.
Yeah.
It'll populate. Or I can just download off of there and just share my screen again.
MP4. Maybe we can.
Yeah, here you go. I'll just do that. Let me share screen. Share screen. There you go.
I can get that on ours. I just downloaded it.
You can just share the screen. I got it up.
Okay. Okay, it's downloading on my end, I think.
Anthony. Oh, there you are. There you go.
Mine's downloaded, but okay. Mine would have been.
So this is I might be able to make this bigger for you. It's probably the biggest I can make it. So I'm going to play it. This is the other angle of that happening.
Okay. Mine just downloaded too. I could bring it on.
Yeah, I can see it.
So I'm checking the camera out. Get ready to stop the camera. Just turn my other camera off.
Right.
And just
That's
slides.
wild.
Well, I got to
Really
see
up.
that again.
That's
What?
wild.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
I literally had to chase it, which is
It
pretty
looks
cool.
like a magic trick. It's like literally.
I don't know if you guys know, but all these skeletons are real human skeletons.
Yeah.
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 This
Yeah.
and the ones back here.
I'm gonna bring it on the full screen because I downloaded it on my end.
They're
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you won't be able to talk.
Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah. That's
I don't know if
crazy.
you guys. I just noticed this on this video. I don't know if it's a shadow from me, but if you look at the floor, it looks like there's some sort of like silhouette, like moving around with my movement.
I see it.
Yeah, it might be my shadow blocking out that light.
Yeah. Do you have a body cam on?
No, I actually had that hand camera. It's one of those nice Insta cameras, and I had just turned it off when that happened. The only thing that caught it from the other angle was that 360 camera that I had right next to it, which was
That's crazy. Yeah, I was looking at the mirror and everything.
Yeah, that's great evidence. It's also so good that you have it from multiple angles.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
that's
that's
where you get there.
That's right.
that
And
that 360 camera has come in handy in capturing a lot of like good captures. To be honest with you, there's
Mm.
things that I've captured that never in a million years I would have even ever thought about capturing.
right.
And it's all happened on accident, which is kind of interesting.
Mm.
I'd say accident, but I don't think there's such thing as accident when it comes down to
No.
the spiritual side of things.
That's if you notice, I changed mine. I call myself a supernatural spectator because I feel all the years I've been doing, spirit does not want to show. Does not. They show you what they want. We sit back. We think we're going to get them. They show you and they give you what they want. It's not like we're going to hunt them or capture them. We're going to do the interview. Investigations and the research. But they don't give you anything they don't want to. So I feel we're spectators more in their world than we're going into their world thinking we're going to tell them to give us something, So they don't.
Yeah,
show
my thing. It's the same way I investigate anywhere as I go. It's more about respect, to be honest with you. You got to respect that location. You got to respect that place, and if you come with respect and you have a good energy, I seem to get a lot of good stuff with that. I've investigated with people that come and basically aren't respectful whatsoever, and you don't really get much, or if you do get something, it's never happy. It's never a good spirit.
Open to it,
Like
they're
the
not
yucky
open.
feeling.
We just did Penhurst, Jenny and I, and we went in with some people. I'm like, okay, now listen. When we go in, we just sit there and let the building talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just be quiet. Just let the building start talking to us. A lot of times, spirits has to get used to you. So if you're there, let them get used to you. Just listen to the building because the building talks to you all the time. You know, and spirit's going to give you what they want. So if you're quiet and you go in and you talk nice to them, and then, like you said, respect. I'm always for that respect. Don't go in and challenge them. Don't have a challenge. Just go and be respectful, and you get more evidence out of the deal.
I've experienced two different sides of Penhurst. We've experienced the nasty side, and we've experienced the good side. And the first time I ever experienced it was we were there. The people we were there with at the time They were antagonizing everything that was there, and it's something you don't want to do.
Why?
Gotta
We,
put-
Why?
we had to stop the investigation because of how dangerous it got. The one guy had a big, heavy, like one of those heavy duty locks. He was in a tunnel, and the whole thing just got launched at his back. That's hard as he
Really?
could. The other girl, this was the first time, I think first and only time I've ever seen this. It was more, I'm not calling it a possession, but it was more of a jump. I think she got jumped in a way. Her eyes completely turned black. She was sitting down. She looked up at me. All the part of her white eyes were completely black. And she wasn't there. There was nobody home. So we had to carry her out. And at that time, we started pretty much getting everybody out of the building. So I went, we took her outside, left her outside the doorway. So I go back down to the basement of the one building we were in, and we started getting everybody out from the basement area. And needless to say that while I was down there, I looked behind me. She was back downstairs with us. I don't know how she made it down there, but she was back down there. So we had the other two guys bring her back up because she wasn't there. When I mean like she wasn't there, like you were talking to her, and it was almost like there's nobody home.
Wow.
As they're bringing her up, they broke through the doorway again with her back going to the outside of the property. And between all the chaos, I forgot to turn the spirit box off. And as we're coming up the steps, they're just walking through the outside door, and you hear the words F you and the person's name. I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to put them out there like that.
No.
But it says F you, her name. And within that split second, she drops to the ground and passed out for over a minute.
Wow.
So long story short, we called it a night. We're like, we're done.
Yeah.
There was people antagonizing that should have been antagonizing it. And I wasn't. That's one of the things I'm not cool with. I'll call the investigation off and I'll walk away in a heartbeat.
Of course not.
And I went there. So what's interesting about that whole investigation is that I actually recorded everything on my nice Canon night vision cameras. I had two of them. I had one on me and one handheld. Very interesting that when I got home that night to play the video back, the video was no longer there.
No.
Wow.
A year and a half later, I go back to Pennhurst, investigate it again. All the video comes back the minute I hit the Mayflower building. All the video goes right back to the camera, goes right back to both cameras. I brought both cameras back with me. And I was able to save all the video like right then and there. But it was interesting that it didn't want that video to be out. That second time I went out was cool though, because we ended up hearing what sounded like little kids giggling and laughing and going up the steps with what sounded like little tin cans and rubbing them against the fence in between the steps. We went running. That day had rained. That's a cool story. It had rained that day, so the basement had about an inch of water. Well, the area we heard the kids giggling and laughing was the steps that went down to the basement of the building to the right of the Mayflower, I want to say. Like, the much further building they can get. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
As we hear the kids, we run over to the area we hear the kids, and there's little kids' barefoot footprints on the floor coming up the steps. Clear, wet footprints from the basement. I have pictures of it, actually.
I was going to
see if I
say,
can
I'm
find
sure you have a picture.
I wish you said this to me. I would have put everything up for you.
Yeah, these were probably one of the coolest capture I think I've ever gotten because there was no kids with us. I have my feet next to the little kid's footprint. You can see the size difference.
Yeah.
Well, and it was wet, meaning like, it
was fresh.
Day, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fresh. It happened right then and there. They would have dried up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have dried up with a matter of seconds. The way it was hot that day. Too, on top of that, very humid.
That's intense activity. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But like I said, you go there with respect, and you're able to experience a lot of these things.
Yes,
I agree.
Where if you go there and I don't know, piss anything off, you're not. I don't think you're going to get very much good activity.
Yeah.
Same thing I said recently. My last probably 4 investigations that I've been on have been up really far up in Pennsylvania, like Laredo and what's that? Huntington, Laredo, and what's the other one? There's another name of the place I forget. But I've been experiencing a lot of UFO activities, like seeing actual what appears to be UFO in the skies. Actually, as of last night, I was able at my house. I was able to see another which we thought was a satellite. We looked up the satellites. There was no satellite up at that time, and there was no airplanes flying above us. And this thing was like moving at a very fast pace. I have a really cool, clear video of it. But it's interesting. Like the more and more you get to see, the more it opens your mind and eyes.
Mhm.
And of course, I mean, I try to find, like I told you before, logical explanation for everything. But when you can't find an explanation, it is what it is. I'm trying to find these little kid footprints. I can't find them right now, but I'll definitely send it to you if I do find them.
Okay.
Let me see.
That's incredible.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
you saw with the UFO, could it have, we were just talking about the fireballs. There was
Yeah,
a
that's what I
fireball
was gonna say.
spotted not far from you actually today.
Yeah, so there was one on the 7th, I believe.
Yes.
Which that looks very similar to what I seen last night in the sky, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
And it was weird. If it looked as weird as the videos that I saw of the one that was in the area in the 7th,
yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't look like any fireball that I've ever seen.
Actually, let me see if I can pull up the video. Yeah, let me actually, Anthony, I'm going to send you this this video from last night. It's
Because there was
probably 20.
One today that was also spotted right by you.
Yeah, there's a lot by me. So I am very close to the Salem nuclear plant, and I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity around that place.
Probably something to do with the pulsing
yeah.
radiation that draws
Maybe,
them in
yeah.
like moths.
Yeah. So my
Carries
old
a
house
Geiger
used to
counter.
actually, my old house is probably 20 minutes from where I live now, and it sat right on the ley lines also. So it was cool.
Oh. That's where you see the Native American.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
There you go, Anthony. I think it's if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't get it yet. Okay, there it goes.
That video is actually from last night. You might want to mute it because I don't know what I was saying at that time.
It's YouTube. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, this is true.
Okay, we get this shot. Okay, it's going.
And this was in PA or this was by your house?
This is actually my house.
Your
My
house,
my
okay.
driveway. Yeah. Did it come through, Anth?
Yes, it did.
Okay, cool.
Whoa.
So I think you'll see it right there, very
Yeah.
very far out in the sky.
Oh.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Whoa.
It's moving at a very very like high pace rate,
Huh.
speed, whatever you want to call
Fast. That's
I-
fast.
it. Yeah.
On Saturday, I seen something like that. Didn't I told you, Jenny. I said, look, there's something moving, and it's moving fast. And I said, well, maybe it's a satellite, and we thought maybe it was the thing that they shot up to space for the moon. And I seen something similar to that the other day, and I was telling her. And nobody's seen it. Everybody's like, oh, no, I don't see nothing.
No,
So
well,
I have
you-
I have a lot of different systems and softwares for flight. I am doing flight school, so I have a lot of different activity, different apps that I can use to see like real time live airplanes and
Mhm, mhm.
Are you
Oh,
still
cool.
going for your pilot? Are you still going for the license?
yeah.
remember you
I'm there. All I need to take is my test, and I'll be done. I just haven't had a chance to go back and take the test. There's 3 different tests. They're like 5 to 6 hours each.
So you don't need a drone no
Uh-huh.
more. You just fly over with a plane with night vision underneath.
Yeah, put one of those daytime night vision cameras that they have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
But it's
Thermal.
just it's interesting. I like just seeing that stuff constantly, and it's just cool. It's very intriguing to me.
That's interesting. That's very
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot going on in our cosmic space right now that is very interesting. Like I said at the beginning, we're literally in a debris stream and they don't know where it's coming from. Like that's never an encouraging thing from NASA and the Meteor
No.
Society that's like, we're in an unknown debris stream. Like,
I know,
good.
like they know everything.
Great. And we
Yeah.
saw
When they say they don't
saw-
know, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and 3-1 Atlas or 3I1 whatever Atlas, they didn't find that until like a week before it was almost near us. I was like, great,
That's
so
interesting.
good. But that's actually really interesting. You're getting your pilot's license. Flying is one of my top fears. I can't fly without
Really?
having
How'd you
severe
go to
anxiety.
Thailand?
Well,
You swam?
Oh,
well,
you
the
just went
first
to Bali.
time I went naturally, and the second time I went with Valium. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, Prince Valium.
You
works
you
like
could
a
definitely
charm.
you're definitely not
Whatever
getting
it
those
takes.
little planes in.
No.
Oh, no.
You feel what I mean, like you feel everything. You feel everything.
Yeah.
My first flight I ever did was actually kind of funny. My instructor at the time was he's a retired Army pilot. So the guy's already nuts, like he's just crazy in the
Right.
head. It's like, hey, listen, man, this is your first time. Here you go. You do everything. I'm like, what do you mean? I've never flew a plane a day in my life. I don't even know what the controllers are. He's like, I'll walk you through it. So I ended up taking off. The first time I ever got on the plane, I ended up taking off in the plane by myself, just with his instructions. And then he takes me up to about 3,500 feet, 35 to 4,000 feet up in the air. And like, all right, we're gonna do some stall trainings. I'm gonna teach you like how to deal with stalls, and if anything happens on the plane, how to regain control.
Day
I'm like,
one?
all right, so I'm sitting here thinking, that's nothing crazy right now. Takes the plane straight up. Plane starts stalling, falls out of the sky as we're falling out. He's like, oh yeah, you just got to get your nose down and just bring it back up, and you're fine. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here scared half to death, like.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah, it
thanks.
was a very interesting first flight. He's like, he's gotta have fun. I said, all right, well, that's kind of like the whole mentality behind the whole thing. He's gotta have fun. It's
Right.
honestly very hard to take a plane down. from what I've learned.
Honestly, anybody who flies, like the pilots and stuff like that, and you doing the training for this, I admire you guys. I mean, obviously, and it's a beautiful thing. Like the awe of it, I still get the awe.
Yeah.
But then there's also that like overriding fear that I could die at any second, which is
Oh,
life
no.
in general. But yeah, I know it's a very strange combination.
Here's how I look at it, and this is how like my mentality I think actually works. To be honest with you, is we're all gonna die.
Mhm.
If you die that day, it was meant to be. If you didn't die that day, then it wasn't meant to be.
I know.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. That's how I live life.
I'd rather not die that day.
True.
But yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We will all become spirit sometime.
But it's funny how logic really goes out the window, right? Like you
Totally
think,
out the
okay,
window.
flying is safe, you know, like you said, it's very hard to take a plane down, you kind of thing, but it doesn't matter when you're falling through the sky.
Doesn't matter.
You're like, we're all gonna
That's
die.
crazy.
But actually, that kind of brings me into, you said you work in law enforcement. Is that what you said earlier? Yeah. It's unbelievable how many paranormal people in the community have law enforcement in their background.
So true.
Do you
I can tell you why.
Great. Let's do it.
So, believe it or not, like law enforcement, you have to actually kind of learn how to read people, how to read the environment, how to read everything that's out there. So, honestly, I think in the way of doing that, it's in a way opening up your third eye without you realizing, which actually opens you up to the spiritual world. And the reason I tell you this is because there's certain, how do I put this where I can say this? There's certain gut feelings that you go with at work that seem to always be correct.
Oh.
Where in life and like paranormal, you're actually following that same feeling. But it's mainly with things that you can't see, if that makes any sense.
I can completely understand this, and this is a perfect explanation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, and that's the way I've looked at it. Because I've made the same observations before where there's a lot of paranormal people that actually are in law enforcement, but just basing it off of like my experience, my life, and like obviously the law enforcement world, and getting to know the paranormal side, that's the best way that I can explain it.
I like
Yeah.
it. Like your instincts, really. You develop, right? Like you have really
Yeah.
good instincts, but that almost becomes like second nature. Like you're not
But
aware that you're even using it.
So like with me, like talking just for me in general, when I sit places, I'm talking to you, but I'm also looking at everything else that's going on
Right.
around me. So I'm not
You have-
maintaining focus on just one thing. I'm honestly like looking around at everything that's going on. But I'm
Yep.
also using all of my other senses for that. Like I'm hearing for
Right.
different things happening. I'm talking to you, but I'm
Yeah.
hearing like two people behind me talking about different things.
Yep.
Um
Yeah.
it-
You have like
I said, it's-
situational awareness. But you also are
Yes.
using your experience, is what I was saying. Like, the more you do it, the more instinct you develop. And it's like,
Right.
if like you said, you were driving and you didn't even realize it, you're probably taking all this stuff in without even realizing it at this point.
Yeah. That, but you're also like, how can I
Like it becomes
explain this?
automatic.
Well, you're like
It
checking
does-
the vibe. You're like constantly checking a vibe, which
Right.
requires that.
It's more of a telepathic connection. The best way I can explain it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You're
So it's more than that.
You're like telepathically like connecting to that person, and you
Yeah.
can almost tell what that person either has on them, what they're doing, or what just by making observations. Like even for work. Like let's say like I've done a lot of in my experience, I've done a lot of narcotics work. I've worked plainclothes like assignments. I've done a lot of things. And a lot of my big drug arrests and I would say gun arrests usually come from just making observations, observing the person, observing every person's movement. A lot of times they have telltale signs. The person will start touching, like they'll start touching their waistband, they'll start touching their pockets. They're touching what they don't want you to see. So they're kind of
Right.
teaching you to like look for those things.
Mm.
But you also have like that automatic feeling that something's up. Like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the best way to explain it is like telepathically, you can tell that there's something not right with that whole situation. You can feel their energy. You can feel like the stress that they're going through while you're standing next to them.
Right.
Yeah.
That is probably the best way I can explain it. And with that, with having that ability, with having that knowledge and building on that, like years on end, I
Yeah.
feel that sort of like helps you in the paranormal side because you're using those same exact like I call it. You're using your third eye for things that you can't see.
Mhm.
And that's that's my best explanation that I have. You know what I mean? If that makes
You know
any
your
sense. For you.
surroundings and what's
It's a
going
great
around.
one.
You know what your surroundings are, and you're paying attention. You're not looking this way. You're looking everywhere, and you know your surroundings, which I think that's what makes you open. You know what's going around, and you know how to observe things, and that's how you're trained. So I
But
know
you're connecting
a
to
lot
a
of
person.
people in the
too.
medical field the same thing. I mean, I notice a lot of law enforcement and medical field people in the paranormal these days,
Yeah.
and I
Like
feel that
paramedics.
they got to
Yeah,
know
exactly.
they got to know their surroundings also. Yeah, from paramedics, nurses, and stuff like that, and a lot of professionals. And so, yeah, you guys are trained and to know what's going on. So that's yeah, and like I said, it opens your third eye.
Wow.
Well, it's very
Yeah.
similar. Like when I go into a location and I'm reading a location, I basically consider I'm immersed in the energy of the location and I'm like externally aware of the whole location. But it's not like a hard focus. It's not a hard focus. It's like an opened awareness focus.
Mhm.
But I mean, same thing, Chris. I mean, I work with animals. So the whole time, I mean, they're not speaking to me, but on the
Right.
whole time they're speaking to me. The whole
You can
time.
read them.
Yeah, you can read
like my dog. So I'm allergic to cats. I'll tell you this quick story because it's kind of funny. And this is an animal story because you're a vet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am fully allergic to cats. I touch a cat, my whole eyes would swell up. I start sneezing, I start coughing, whatever. We were, I want to say, going like 3 years now. I was at my sister's house. I seen my buddy, one of the guys that I know, posted on Facebook that he found a cat. The mom got killed. And the cat was like a very tiny kitten, probably this big, barely old enough to survive on its own. I'm like, you know what? I'm an animal guy. I was like, let me go try to see what I can do for this cat. I go pick him up at his house, bring him back to my house, start bottle feeding the cat every day. I did all the research on what I needed to do to like get this cat up and running. Bottle feed it. he's obviously like now growing up with my other dog that passed away, which was the German Shepherd I was telling you about originally.
Right.
The cat now believes he's the dog, so he'll sit and wait at the door. Long story short, I'm not allergic to that cat. I still have that cat till this day.
What?
And he literally treats me like I'm some sort of like relative to him. I come in the house, he's waiting for me. He knows my schedule from work. He knows what time I get home from work, so he's waiting at the door for me.
Yeah.
He has this whole ritual he does when we sit there and watch TV. Like I'll lay down in a recliner. As soon as the recliner hits back, he jumps up on my lap, does this, like kisses my face all over, and then lays between my leg and watches TV with me. This is the like everyday thing. This is his little ritual that he does. I go to bed, he comes, tries to lay under the covers with me or lays on top of my feet. But ever since then, I am not allergic to him. Any other cat I touch, I am allergic to him. I am fully allergic. I'm still allergic to cats,
Right.
except him.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Goes back.
I mean, I love that story. I foster kittens and I bottle feed kittens and I foster I fostered hundreds and hundreds of kittens. Usually they're climbing on me during the show. So I know what you mean, but I got to tell you that, and Kim, I'm not a veterinarian, but I'm just a foster, but the bottle babies are the best cats. Like you would think they would be.
The boy cats too are just that much.
He's a boy. He's a boy.
Yeah, they just become so like intensely attached to you and in tune with you, and like I don't know, maybe because you're
really
a mom
at
that point.
Yeah, he gets very bad separation anxiety when I'm not at home.
Yeah,
I come back and he's like all excited, like like he's waiting the entire time for me. It was like a dog. When he was a kitten, he would sit at the door. When the dogs would bark out back, he would pretend to bark. It was like a meow bark. It was kind of cool. It was pretty funny. And he's developed this talking. So he walks around the entire house when he's like annoyed at something and just starts talking. You hear him like meowing, like almost like he's talking to something. Just walking around the house. Like what? The first time I ever heard, I was like, what the hell is going on? Is there somebody in the house? Somebody break in. That was a cat walking around talking. It was pretty
like, I'm turning into a human.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, a third cat, a third dog, a third human. This cat, but I think like the one that I have that was a bottle baby, like fetches, like same thing. Like if you're like come here, Rick, he'll run up and jump on you like a dog, like he's like a dog. And I wonder if I never thought about that. Anyway,
Skittles fetches. I'll throw a ball at him. He'll go get it, come back, brings it back.
Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles.
I love that.
Skittles, and then I rescued another cat who I'm not allergic to as well. The two cats that I have, I'm not allergic to. I don't know what it is, but I'm not allergic to them. This other cat, a family had a whole bunch of kittens, and they just kind of let them. I was working that day. They pretty much abandoned all these cats. I was like, man, this is like a cool colored kitten. So I ended up bringing them home, and so now I have two cats and one dog, and I'm not a cat person at all.
It's the cat distribution system, they call it.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Every happy one you got to have 2, 3.
I know,
So
but
you need 2 cats at least. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you're an animal person. I'm really not.
Yeah. Listen, even at work, like when we have to deal with like crazy like dogs and big dogs, I usually have no problems with them. Like they'll just walk right up, put them in the car, and take them wherever I got to take them to.
Yep.
But
Love it.
It's fun.
And you've taken your dog on investigations. Can you tell us any stories about that?
Yeah, actually, Teddy. I used to have a channel with Teddy and Chris, but then he became too big to take anywhere. And after my other dog passed away, he became dog aggressive. So he loves people, but he just can't see another dog or he'll just go nuts. I've taken him. One of the coolest places that I took him where I had really good activity with him was Burlington County Prison. I brought him there as a puppy, and I think he was probably 5 months old. And we're going down to the steps on the backside of the property where the gallows are at. Mm-hmm. And he starts freaking out, does not want to go down the steps, starts backpedaling. So I literally have to pick him up and walk him down the steps. And as I'm doing that, we capture an EVP saying, there's the little doggy. Say hi to the little doggy or something along those lines.
What?
Or the little puppy. That's what it was, the little puppy. So they were acknowledging that we had a dog with us, and they were acknowledging that he was a puppy, which is kind of cool. And he was definitely reacting to it. All the back hair of his scruff were all
Oh,
sticking
wow.
up.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
hairs near his butt, like area in the back, were all sticking up, and he was backpedaling. So I can only assume he was reacting to what was there. But at the time, I thought it was maybe he was scared of the steps. And it wasn't until later that we played the video back and ended up hearing the AVP
for
that was
sure.
captured.
Yeah. Did those mannequin things freak him out there? Because they freak me out every single time. I've been there like 10 times, right?
Quite honestly, I couldn't walk him through the whole property. He would not go down to the basement. He would cry, run up the steps, and not want to be anywhere near that basement.
Wow.
So I actually had to bring him up, and I left him in his crate for a little while up by the main entrance. Because he didn't want to go down to the basement, and obviously I didn't want to force him to, cause him to freak out or something. But
I mean,
stress him out.
Wow,
yeah,
it's just a lot more intense down there, right? Like maybe the violence, or I don't know.
Wasn't a guy killed down there?
So it was the area where the stabbing had happened. So that's
right
where he was freaking out
there. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
The left side of the stairs. So that was the area he was freaking out at. And even if I brought him through the other side, he wouldn't make it past the hallway to come down to the stuff
So
on the
weird.
other side. So needless to say, he only investigated the first floor and the backyard for the most.
Well,
but that was interesting. And then I brought him what was it? Booby's Brewery. That was another location that I brought him to. And he did pretty good there, actually. He was still a puppy then, and he was interacting with a lot of things, especially near the hotel area. That floor right before you go up to the hotels. I don't know if you guys have been there.
Yeah.
He was interacting with something there, and it was almost playful. Like he was playing with whatever we couldn't see what it was, but he was playing, like hopping, like jumping towards it, and like it was almost like something was playing with it. What I felt was maybe like a little kid, but I couldn't prove that. We didn't capture anything to even kind of, give us any evidence that there was something there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, it's been cool bringing them to locations. I actually brought them to a pet cemetery. Well, actually, it's not a cemetery. It was actually a pretty messed up location up in Connecticut. It was originally a dog pound, and the owner ended up killing all the dogs that were in that area and stuffed them inside of school buses. And those school buses were buried underground. And it wasn't until like a couple years later they found out that he had killed all these dogs and stuffed them inside of these school buses. And he ended up getting arrested for it. Long story short, we ended up getting access to this location, and I brought him there. And we got a lot of activity with him there, especially the dog pound area, which was still there. We found the buses. We found the underground buses and how to get inside of them. There's still like bones there that belong to the buses. But that whole area, just the vibe there was crazy. It was weird.
How disturbing.
And it almost it felt like you were being watched the entire time, honestly, like while you were there.
Yeah.
It was one of those places where like I was only there for probably like 5-6 hours and then I left. Drove all the way back to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Kim, I would love you to ask your question right now.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to say we have a place for you and your dog to go to, where we just went in oh my gosh, Briarcliff Manor. So this is a really crazy story, Chris. We just talked about this on our show. So we were doing Estes method down in the basement, and somebody was just hearing dog barking completely and they're like, this is ridiculous. It's just a guy who's obsessed with his dogs. And he's
you feel dumb. You're like barking, more barking.
Yeah, more barking. And then somebody else was doing Estes, and they got that the guy on the Estes was talking about their dead dog, their past dog. So we're like, God, there's this guy who's like obsessed with dogs. But everybody has had maybe a dog in their life, whatever. I wouldn't really think much of it. And it wouldn't be very like evidential. But it actually turns out that this location, there was a guy who lived there in the 1940s who had a Westminster classified like quality dog kennel out of that building. And so he bred wire hair fox terriers, and he had a Westminster winning dog, not the whole Westminster, but like best of
Right.
group in 1943. So we're like, wow, I would believe it was him.
So come with us next time and bring the dog.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll definitely come.
Definitely let you know.
It's not far into New York,
Yeah.
near Terrytownish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No, it's
Yeah, I've
not.
gone all over New York, like upstate New York, and investigated a couple
Yeah,
different
so you
locations
know,
up there.
yeah, that
Mhm.
side over there. Sleepy Hollow.
Okay, yeah, that's probably maybe 2.5,
Over there.
3 hours from
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's such a great place.
Yeah.
We love
We
it.
did I did a location up in upstate New York. It was like near Syracuse, New York, where I ended up making friends with the one of the state state rangers, the guys that control all the parks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we were at a fort there. I want to say fort. It wasn't Ticonderoga. It was something near there. Let me look it up real quick so I can give you like exact. But long story short, I was talking to the guy at that fort, and he said, "Listen, you do this paranormal stuff. I have a place for you." He said, "It's closed at night time, but I'm gonna let you guys in there tonight if you're around." I said, "That's perfect. Works for me."
That's
It
the
was
best
it was an old general's home, and it was basically his property. And from the minute we walked in, it was dark. Upstate New York, there's no light pollution, no nothing out
No.
there. It's
Mm.
completely dark. Like it was cool. So they have his monument there as well. So he opens the gates, lets us in. We go all the way to the back. And as we're walking towards the monument, we hear what sounds like a woman just screaming, like from the woods, like out of the top of her lungs. This is before we even had cameras rolling, anything. We're just walking to the place. And he said, "This is the reason why I wanted you guys out here." So he explains that this is something that they hear constantly. So we investigated for probably 3 to 4 hours. We get absolutely nothing. Nothing. Like what I mean,
What?
while we have cameras rolling, nothing's happening. We're not getting any AVPs, nothing at all. Turn the cameras off, start walking back towards the car, and here goes this woman screaming again. I'm like,
What?
seriously. It happened when we walked in, and happened when we left. Like there's twice that we weren't able to document it or even record it or even interact with whatever was there.
Really?
So it made me think that maybe it's just something that's stuck in a time loop or just happening every so often. You know what I mean?
Or like a
Yeah.
But there was there was
Banshee,
just no like
exactly.
yeah. But it was he heard it, I heard it, the other person that was there with us heard it, and we couldn't explain it.
And nothing later on the video or anything or audio. Wow.
Played it all back. All you can hear is just nothing but the bugs outside and nothing else.
Crickets and stuff. And you didn't hear it back.
Yeah.
That's
Nope.
interesting.
No.
It
I
was
know exactly what you're talking
three-
about
yep,
too.
3.5 to 4 hours worth of nothing other than us talking to.
We've all been there, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
more
know.
personal
All been there.
experiences than more personal
No.
than you get anything on video or audio, you know?
Yeah.
We had so I for the Signal Network I went and filmed. There's I think a total of like 6 different locations right now that I have to videos to make for these different
Right.
locations. I went to a location in Virginia called the Graffiti House. I don't know if you guys have heard of that location.
No.
The Graffiti House was actually used during the Civil War. It was a like meeting point for the soldiers, and all the soldiers that met there prior to the Battle of Gettysburg. It was the Battle of Brandywine, if I'm not mistaken. The battlefield is right across the street from the Graffiti House. The reason they call it the Graffiti House is because all the soldiers actually wrote their names and all of their different stuff on the wall inside the Graffiti House. And for a while there, the location was deteriorating. It was falling apart. A lot of people stole different parts of the walls and took it with them. But they have since like rehabbed this location. It was used during the battle as a hospital. So a lot of the soldiers that were injured and hurt, they would bring them back to the property and do amputations on the second floor of the property. It had a window that faces like the steps as soon as you come up, and then you should throw the limbs and everything out the window, like ready for the person to get it down. So with that being said, we were prior to that, I was there for a whole weekend because we did 2 different locations. I went to prior to Brandywine, I was in there's another location in Virginia. long story, we ended up walking through the location that we were at, and we hear what sounds like the rebel yell. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Civil War, like
Yeah.
rebel yell.
Yes,
We're
I
making
got
the
that
specific sounds.
on
So
video.
we hear at the other location, we heard what sounded like a rebel yell. First time I ever heard it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No. So during the Civil War, they used
What
to.
are rebel yells?
So during the Civil War, that the soldiers had a specific yell and scream to basically indicate like that they were in battle, they were charging at the battle.
Mm-hmm. The rebel yell is the rebel yell is the sudden is when they used to go into fights, when they used to run in, they all used to scream at the same like and it was like one big loud sound that was supposed to intimidate the enemy with this kind of yell. It's supposed to be like more people than they really had. So that was
like
rebel
Braveheart, kind of like in Braveheart when they do that.
Kind of like like a battle
sort of.
choir.
Yeah.
Like a battle cry.
Almost,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I have that.
So picture
audio.
Native American tribes, like when they would go to battle, they would have that specific. It was something similar like that.
Okay.
So we hear it at the one location. We heard it once. Now fast forward to the graffiti house. We filmed in there. We got a lot of cool different evidence while we were filming. We go and put everything back in the car. I put all the equipment away. We're outside of the car once again, just BS and talking about what we're going to do tomorrow. And we hear the battlefield's right across from the house. So we start hearing the rebel yell start at one end of the battlefield and work its way all the way to the other end.
Oh no!
But it was the coolest thing I think I've ever heard. That was followed by a whole silhouette squadron of soldiers like walking towards the battlefield. It was all silhouettes, looked like they all had their muskets walking down the road and just disappeared.
What?
It was probably one of the coolest things. I think there was 3 of us there. We all witnessed it. We all watched it happen in front of us and heard the rebel yell.
You all saw it. I mean,
all 3 of us saw it. We were all staring right down because the road that actually leads to the graffiti house is a dead end road. That on that dead end, there's a specific street light that's just lighting that dead end corner. There's also a church there. Let me pull up the name of this church. It's actually one of the oldest churches in the area too. Graffiti house.
You know what's like incredible? I feel like so many of your most amazing stories, you're not the only one there.
No.
Like there's so much validity to your story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most people are like, oh, I swear to God it happened. Like the light just went right away from my hands. But that's incredible that you actually have people who are witnessing it with you.
I guess I can say I'm lucky, but it also like I want to say like when I investigate, I only investigate with like a very small group of people. And a lot of us have very similar way of investigating. We kind of have the same mindset. So I've noticed where I get the most evidence is when we're not even trying to investigate, where we're just talking and playing around.
Yeah.
And usually things happen as we're talking and just playing around. It's never when you're trying to get some sort of activity to happen. It's always when you're not expecting it.
Of course. Anthony says that a lot, to be fair. He does. He says when you're just chatting. And at Pennhurst, that just happened to us. We were talking about something completely different, and I accidentally left a recorder on, and we played it back, and it was like some dude yelling at us about how mad he was working there and stuff, screaming.
Oh, yeah.
Like, whoa.
He said something because we were in a office area, I guess, and
assembly
hall. And it actually came back and it says, I'm working here all night. And then it says something on it and it says, F it.
He goes, I'm working here all night. F it.
It was like a whole sentence. Like, wow.
But of course, no answers to the EVP questions. But when we stop talking and just start chatting to each other, this guy's in the background. But think about it, that's life. Like you don't sit there in life and say, what's your name? What do you do? Where are you from? How many kids? Like you just talk, you know?
Yeah.
And
how many times you have a
the more
conversation,
natural you are, the better.
You get an EVP, it seems like they're joining in or they're laughing at you.
Yes, exactly.
They're adding a comment to what you're talking about.
Yes.
And you have the playback. It's like, who was that?
Right. Oh, I gotta let you guys hear that. Kim, don't let me forget your question. The other question.
Yeah, that's right. the other question. Yeah. So
The
Chris, so what I
question.
love to ask people on the show is because
I
this
really
is
want
a
to know from
location
Chris.
about history and locations and stuff like that. And you know, everybody, I always find that in paranormal investigators, there's just a place that keeps calling you, that keeps, you know, you keep thinking about it. You know, you've been to 100 places, but there's one place, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be one that was the craziest activity, but it's like you just can't get it out of your mind. You keep wanting to go back there. Is there a location that like repeatedly you connect to or that calls you?
So for me, there is one location I've only investigated it once, and it's been closed ever since we investigated it. That was the Greenville Manor. I don't know if you guys have heard of that place.
No.
It was a very short, and it was open for a very short time. That I experienced some crazy, like I don't refer to a lot of things demonic. I don't think this stuff was demonic. It was just very negative. Very like negative activity, like to the point where we were getting growled at on the steps. One of the people we were with got a decent sized scratch while he was there with us. But it's one of those locations that I just wanted to know more about it. And I've noticed also while I investigate a lot of these locations that are owned by certain people, the people that actually own them are usually called to these properties, and it usually is all the same exact story. I was very intrigued with this property. I wanted to buy this property. This property was calling to me. I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to make it better. I wanted to rehab it. A lot of these stories that I hear from these different owners that buy these extremely haunted properties is usually the same exact story.
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
I was driving by and I had to go in. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing with this. However, this location, from the time we went there, it was just the whole the way we booked it, the way we got there, the interaction we had with the people that actually ran the place. Everything was just very odd, very weird. It wasn't your normal location, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, I do. It does.
But that's the only location I ever had that feeling with. The other one I can say that I've always wanted to go back to and continue to investigate was St. Albans Sanatorium in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
That location, my first time ever going there, that's one of the places that I actually experienced Native American war sounds in the attic of my house before heading there. It was me and I don't know if you guys know Paul from you know Paul, right, Anthony?
Dixon?
Yeah, Paul Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Paul and I were at my house. We were going to go there for the first time, and we're loading up the equipment inside of my truck, and we hear what sounds like a full-blown Native American doing the war sound in my attic, running across my attic wall. First of all, my attic is not a big attic. It's one of those ones that you just have to drop the steps and go up there and check. It was to the point where I actually grabbed like my gun and went up there looking, because I'm like, we heard this. There's somebody's up there. I don't know who's up there. We were the only two at the house at the time.
Right.
The entire ride, the entire ride up there, we kept seeing and witnessing what seems like shadow figures sitting in my back seat, riding up there with us. That's where the bald eagles come in. We start seeing a couple bald eagles on the way there, red-tailed hawks, a couple. It was a 6-hour ride, and the entire 6-hour ride, we kept seeing different things in the back seat, or almost something sitting in the back seat of the truck with us. We get there, and I decided to park in the back of the property, which everybody that was there with us, because we were going to be there for 36 hours. We're going to be investigating the place for 36 hours nonstop, just all-nighters, sleeping there and everything. So I park all the way in the back of the property. This is the first time meeting the owners of the place and everything like that. So we get up, we get inside. Everybody's parked in the front area. I don't know why I had to park in the back. I just felt like I needed to park in the back, and that's where I wanted to park. That's where I was going to leave my truck. That's it. We walked in, and we're talking. We get to talking. We're bullshitting for a little while, and we talked to, I forget her name. I think it was the owner at the time. And says, hey, when do you guys park? I said, I parked in the back of the property. She said, oh, that's pretty interesting. She said, Destination Fear was here, like, I want to say it was probably 3 to 4 to 5 days before we were there. Destination Fear was here. They were investigating, and they were back in the area where you guys parked, and they captured what was a Native American making war sounds in the middle of a war
No.
between the Americans and the Native American. And, she
Mm.
said they captured that on EVP, and it was right in the same area we parked. And I'm like, huh, that's interesting because this is what we heard, and that's what I explained to her exactly what we heard prior to coming there. So it goes back to the Native American, like anything that's Native American related. When I go to these locations, I'll start hearing things at the house prior to going there.
Wow.
I'll start noticing things that are Native American related, and all of that has happened ever since I had that experience with what I've seen in my yard.
Mhm.
Can I ask you a personal question, Chris? Do you have Native American heritage?
So originally, like my nationality is Puerto Rican. I'm from
Right.
Puerto Rico, so like a lot
You
of Puerto
said you're
Ricans
from
are
Puerto Rico.
yeah. So a lot of Puerto Ricans are known for the Taino Indians.
Right. I was going to ask about the Taino.
background.
Yeah.
Yes. So I do somehow believe that I'm somehow connected to that, and I think that is why I'm having all of these experiences. At least that's what it was explained to me with when my buddy was still alive and his family were, walking me through like the whole Native American process and what it means when when you see something like that, and that's kind of where we've kind of come to the conclusion we've come to, like related to that.
Yeah, I think you got
That's
connection
amazing.
because when you planted that plant for as a offering or thank you, I think they appreciate that and they stay with you to protect you or whatever because of your journey. You were generous to thank them and you respectful. So I feel that they're staying with you because of that.
Yeah, it's like an agreement. Like you agree to this connection. Like you are consenting to this connection by planting this tree in offering. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love pre-investigation visitations. I always think those are so powerful. I get great information on pre-investigation stuff because it's, there's no time, right? There really is no time. And it's like, it's a connection. Like you make a pre-connection to that place and it opens up the gateway for them to come there. That's amazing.
Chris, Chris, in the future show, if you want, send us like a location. Don't tell us location, and
you can tell us. Don't tell Kim.
Kim will read it for you because we actually do that on the show. You send a location, you send pictures, and nothing that actually could give away anything.
Right.
Just
nothing identifying.
Something, and she'll read it for you. And she'll tell everything on that thing, and you'll be like, wow. I mean, she's amazing.
She'll do like a pre-reading, and then we'll play it during the show. Like she'll send it to us before.
So we'll do that one time because you guys
cool.
locations.
You might love it.
I got. So I have a location I'm working. I already went there and filmed. I got a lot of activity. I got a lot of really good evidence. And there's a lot of history to that place. And some of the history that I've picked up on aren't very well known. And I don't think a lot of people know some of the history there. So I'd be interested if you do a reading on that. If you do,
record it in advance and then send it to one of us. And then we still won't tell her till that night. You know what it is. We won't advertise it.
You can send it, and
we'll play it live.
Yeah, I just need pictures. That's all. No pictures or an address. But that, like, if you don't have pictures of a place, some people don't have pictures of a place or whatever. But
I got plenty of pictures. I got drone shots, whatever you need, I got you.
I love it. Cool. Anthony, time-wise, I just want to definitely, because I do watch the Signal Network faithfully. Can you talk to us a little bit about getting involved with Scotty and the Signal Network?
Yeah, of course. So Scotty reached out to me, obviously wanted me to do some of my videos and specifically put them on the Signal Network.
So we're talking about Scott Davis because we all know Scotty, so we're all saying Scotty, but we have people watching in like Minnesota and Texas and everything. So.
Yeah, so it's been pretty cool. I mean, we ended up investigating a location up in Pennsylvania. It was
the theater,
the Clifton 5 Theater. That was why actually prior to Scotty doing the Signal Network, that was something we did offhand. It was something that I was planning on just putting together, and it was going to be which it actually came out to be a pretty cool documentary. But my whole idea behind it was that I wanted to shoot a live documentary and then be able to play this documentary in the same exact theater that I filmed it for other people to
Oh,
watch
cool.
the investigation of the location that they're sitting in, like that at that time. And
That's awesome.
it came out to be a cool documentary on my end. And we ended up capturing a lot of cool things. And then from there, after working with Scotty on that, he ended up asking me to be a part of Signal Network, and we've
Which
been ever since. Which right now there's only I think probably maybe like 4 videos that are up right now. Some of those videos are like my older videos.
right.
A lot of the new stuff that are getting ready to come out is much better quality, better edited, and it's somewhat it's more of a, you're gonna be watching a story instead of like sitting there and being bored of a normal investigation video, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I love the variety. I do. I love
Yeah.
the variety. I love, we're friends with Beyond the Badge.
Mhm.
We're friends with them, and we're friends with Sarah. Hushed Up History, and we love it. We love Scotty. We love the Signal
be on
Network.
soon,
So
too.
when I saw you on there, I was like, this is so great. What a great collab.
I want to, before, are we running short on time here
A
for
little
a
bit.
minute?
So that's
Yeah,
why I
but
just want
go
to make
ahead.
sure that you tell us all your info
Okay.
so I can post it.
Yeah,
People are asking where to
Yeah,
find
right.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys can find me at Supernatural Untold Stories on all social media platforms. And also, obviously, the Signal Network under the Supernatural Untold Story playlist. You should be able to watch all my full documentaries there. A lot of my quick little clips, quick little captures I've been posting on TikTok and YouTube. Trying to build my YouTube up. I started this whole new YouTube. I used to have United for the Unknown. From there, it became Supernatural Untold Story, rebranded everything. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha.
I do have multiple documentaries also that are out on the Scare Network. There's multiple 7-part series. There's a 5-part series on there. There's a 4-part.
Oh my gosh.
One of the cool investigations that I did was my hometown location where I actually grew up. One of the first locations I moved into when we came here from Puerto Rico. And it was an old internment camp that was used during the World War I believe, or World War II. I can't remember which one. But it was a newly built development that was built in 2020. That new development, a lot of the people that were newly to that location were experiencing a lot of the same activity. A lot of the activity dealt with fire, dealt with their locations, believing their locations to be on fire when it was actually not on fire. One of the girls that reached out to me, I went there for the first time, did a preliminary investigation. And one of the things that we kept getting was fire left, fire left, fire left while we were in her living room. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what fire left meant. Not putting all of this together. A couple of days later, she sends me a text message and she says, "Hey, were you getting fire left the day you were here?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Holy shit." I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" She said, "Well, my neighbor to the left of my house ended up having some sort of mental breakdown, said that the voices in his head were telling him to burn his house down, and he ended up burning his house down."
No way.
Wow.
So it was a house to the left of her property. So we think the fire left was actually from that.
There's a warning.
And we ended up doing a 3-day professional investigation there. It was all on Scare Network. You guys can look it up. It's called Darkness in Suburbia. Is the actual name of it.
Darkness and
very
Suburbia.
Yeah,
Just
very,
tell
very
us
cool
the names of
location.
the documents because we're really running out of time.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
I can send you guys the links, and you guys can just post it after the
That's
show.
cool.
you-
Yeah,
guys
send
can
us
go.
the
Would you
link.
consider coming back sometime in the future and
Yeah.
talking to us
Of
more?
course.
Whenever
Yeah,
you
great
guys want me
story.
to.
He'll be
I
here.
got nothing but time. I got a broken thumb.
I love
and got
it.
to work for a little bit, so we're good.
Oh, good. Because I feel like we just barely scratched the surface with you.
Yeah, I
but I
know.
knew
We
that
just
would
scratched
happen.
the surface. I
Real.
wish
You
we
It
had
goes
more
so
time.
fast, 2 hours.
You guys show that comes
It does.
on after us, and we only got like 7 minutes to
Anthony
go.
knows I've got a list of questions like
Yeah,
on a piece of
she always
paper
has like a
mailbox.
book of questions.
I
Kim
do.
Stewart, you see her face. She has more questions for you too.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we'll have you back, and if
We will.
that piece of if you want to send us any pictures you want Kim to read, just let us
Yeah.
know, and we'll
Oh,
send it
that
over
would
to
be
them. a
cool thing to start with.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, of
I'll
course.
give it a shot.
We do have to call the show. I'm sorry, but I just wanted Chris, hang out afterwards. Don't hang up.
Hang
Don't.
for a second.
Don't hang
Okay.
out a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
After we leave. Okay, I just want to thank Chris. That you were
Yeah,
amazing
thank you,
tonight.
Chris.
Thank you,
I'm
Chris.
glad
Thank
we had
you.
Nice meeting you. I've never met you
Yeah.
before, so this
Yes,
is great.
same here. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. It was a blast.
Yes.
I had
Th-
nothing but fun.
Went
Thank
so
you for
fast.
being on. I got to thank the audience, everybody in the audience. We had a couple new people. Thank you for coming
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without the audience, we would be nothing right now. And so
Nothing.
I just want to, I got to make this quick. I just want to tell everybody, if you want to be safe, when you go on investigation, you got to be safe. You have to be safe because you want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Ciao, familia. Forget about it. Hey.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
See you next
night.
week.
Hey, how you doing?